mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. The dome of the California Capitol building lit up dramatically here at our broadcast location in Sacramento. Happy New Year's Eve. Thank you for joining us here on 2K Sports for the NBA. We're all dressed up and ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. From the sideline, we'll have David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment. Here's a look at what's coming up now for the Sacramento Kings. On Thursday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies. Then on Saturday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And guys, this is the kind of stretch of the schedule that you dream of. Winnable games at home against opponents you know you have a talent advantage over. It would take a lot for this team to not be successful over this stretch.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
De'Aaron Fox talked about his mentality on the court. You put the ball in his hands, he says, I'm going to take over the game. It doesn't have to be scoring, just always attacking. Always. You got to be a dog. Don't back down from anyone. Kevin, I know you're a dog. Back to you.
A little intimidation factor, D.A. Thanks. Brent, two explosive backcourts. When you were playing, who was the toughest guard that you found to defend?
Well, I would start off with a guy named Allen Iverson. And the reason that I start with that, Kevin, the reason I start with Kevin is I just saw the back of the jersey all the time, so I remember Iverson clear as day. But if I went deeper, I would tell you guarding the Hall of Famer Mitch Richmond at a time when he was playing for the Sacramento Kings. They would run an offensive set, much like for Reggie Miller, multiple screens by a bunch of guys who were big and strong. That was not good for me to try to fight through those kind of screens. But if you gave Mitch Richmond 8 inches, 2 points.
And Richmond was strong and had bulk to his body.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
I can see the bruises. And the Clippers starting 5. Montrezl Harrell is out there with Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac. And it's Beverly in at the point. And for the Kings, Hield and Barnes are the 2 and the 3. Marvin Bagley is out there with Parker. And it's Fox in at the point. That shot off. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Beverly against Fox. Here's Leonard. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
Such a critical part of how their offense is going to flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
Harrison Barnes, great experience at Golden State, a proven champion on that team, and now entering prime years of his career, trying to be consistent and trying to get a little bit better.
That's good from Barnes.
Well, they've been striving towards it for years now, and the Kings are finally one of the premier up-tempo teams.
Well, it works for them when you have a guy like De'Aaron Fox out there to blast off on any possession. You surround him with great shooters in Bogdanovic and Hield. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense on a nightly basis throughout the course of a regular season.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And thinking back to last postseason, the Clippers did not back down to the Warriors at all.
Well, L.A. was a much more physical team. I think they knew going in that the only way that they had a shot was to be disruptive, and they brought that on both ends of the floor, and that was going against a healthy Kevin Durant at the time. They took 2 games last year in that series, and the way in which they played, that spirit might have caught the attention of one Paul George and one Kawhi Leonard.
Here's Fox. Paul George making his last shot. It's Fox with the drive. Hield outside. Bagley dishes to Hield. Back to Bagley. And the rejection by Zubac. Leonard against Barnes. The shot by George wide open. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Paul George showing his offensive confidence right there, just letting that one go as soon as it touches his hands.
And here is Hield. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Nuggets in Denver.
And then there was his passing. When he wasn't scoring on his own, he was making plays for his teammates. They just couldn't figure out how to defend it. That's the third straight miss to start this game, and they're still looking for their first basket.
Bagley with the block.
Bagley timing that one well and intimidating.
Here's George. He's coming off a 34-point game against Utah.
And he also positioned himself perfectly to grab all those rebounds, guys. Can't forget about the fundamentals.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That's foul number 2 for him. Williams, he's checked in for Leonard. Outside, Fox. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's Hield, and the rejection by Zubac.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Williams, that's good.
Shooting 4 of 5 to start the game. That's got to be a feel good.
Here's Hield. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. Pass to Barnes. Knocked loose. Parker against Harrell. And there's the call on Patrick Beverley. That's his first foul. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Parker trying to free himself up.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Here's Williams. Count that one.
Well, even when you get physical with Lou Williams, he'll use that against you. Keeps his balance that time.
Here's Fox. 26 points for him last game against Denver.
Well, his passing another high point in that game. He made sure it wasn't all about him. He wanted to get his teammates involved.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first. Have you seen a lot of teams over your time that have been terrific starting a season, then just fall apart second half of the season?
Have you seen it, Kevin, happen with teams that have really good veteran players? I've seen it with young teams.
Yeah, unravel. I mean, it's painful to watch. None come to mind, but I'm sure you could start to find teams that are 10 wins below from one half of the season to the next half.
And some of that we know. It can happen with injuries to a star player and you just are dismantled. But a lot of times...
Like the Pacers with Oladipo.
Yeah.
They were a different team the last quarter of the season.
That's a great call, Kevin. But a lot of times it happens with young teams because if you get off to such a hot start and it's a bit unexpected, there's going to be a lot more attention on you. And you start to feel like, oh, well, we've arrived. This is easy. We've done this for 35, 40 games. No problem. Well, the league figures you out. And a lot of times young teams that have early success are probably the most susceptible to this lemmings kind of falling off the cliff type of deal.
4 on the clock. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And they're on the break. Trying to end the drought. That one goes. Count it.
Pretty good. The dribble set that up, got some space, and then knocked it down.
And here's Beverley. He brings it up for Los Angeles. They put up a nice win against Utah last time out.
Yeah, I think they prepared to face more defensive pressure, and that one didn't happen, and boy, they just rolled.
It took just a little bit of time, but once they figured out the D on that night, man, their offense was rolling.
Oh, great ball movement there.
The Kings trail by 8. Fox looking it over. Passes to Hield. Floats one. That one falls.
Well, tricky there on that play as Hield had the soft floater. It trickled in.
The Clippers have gotten 6 or 7 shots to fall in the first quarter. They're off and running. Outside Williams. Over in the corner, Zubats misses the three.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Lobbed up there for Barnes, and it's Barnes slamming it down.
Just getting more and more court awareness and where guys are at all times is De'Aaron Fox.
Clippers leading by 4. Now Williams, an 11-point game for him in the win against Utah.
Yeah, but all around offensively, the performance was great. He knew when he had it going, but he also knew he could get other guys going. So his passing right up there on the level with his scoring in that one.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed? He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
Now here's Zubats. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. And that one's good. Beverly.
You want Patrick Beverly to shoot, but maybe not as open as that, knocking down a mid-range.
Outside, Fox. Barnes outside. Poked away. 6 on the shot clock. Good on the triple. Hield's got 5 now.
Yeah, watching Hield shoot is quite astonishing. He does a great job of establishing his feet as a foundation for his three-point shot.
Now here's Beverly. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Right side, Williams. The putback. It's good on the putback.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. Parker outside. Now the pass to Barnes. Parker against Harrell. To the inside. Fox goes back up. And that one drops. Fox has got his second bucket.
Fox getting in, nifty scoring there, not hesitating inside.
Parker with the steal. And now the Kings fast break. Hield with the bucket.
Quickly up court with the basketball, delivered a perfect strike.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 8 of 11 in the first quarter. They'll take that percentage any night. Beverly, the pass to Williams. Knocked away and stolen by Barnes. That's good from Fox on the assist by Hield. Now it's a 3-point Kings lead.
I think opposing coaches have nightmares about De'Aaron Fox being out in transition. We got to see why right there.
Well, what an incredible difference it was for De'Aaron Fox from his rookie year to his second season.
Well, they really committed to a style that allowed De'Aaron Fox just to take the reins and run up and down the floor. Obviously, we talk so much about his speed and ability to get out in transition to put pressure on the defense. The next step, again, for all these young players is to remain consistent in their play and then defend your position on the other end.
Here's Fox following the score by Lou Williams.
This has not been a good quarter right here. Shot has been off the mark, and now it looks, Kevin, like he's pressing a bit.
And stolen by Barnes. Sacramento's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Hield with the bucket.
Well, that's a beautiful shooting stroke right there. Really a core essential of Buddy Hield's game.
And the Clippers decide to take their first timeout here.
The 7th overall pick in 2012 out of North Carolina. Harrison Barnes won a title in Golden State. Signs the big contract with Dallas, but yet to achieve the stardom that many predicted back in high school.
And the Kings will go for a different look here. Alex Lenz checked in for Marvin Bagley. Bielitsa comes in for Jabari Parker. Bogdan Bogdanovic, he's checked in for Harrison Barnes. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Hield. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Green, he's checked in for Zubats. Morris comes in for Harrell. Jackson, he's checked in for Lou Williams. And Landry Shamet subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Greg, you look at Harrison Barnes. What's his best role?
I mean, Kevin, he's a hard worker, able to hit the spot up three. Defensively, his strength gives him some versatility, just a solid contributor.
Fox, no good.
It's not his best night from the field, but looking for other ways and finding them so he can chip in.
And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Williams.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
The first one falls. Ray, you suited up for 6 teams in your NBA career. What do you think about some of the front offices that you came across during that playing time?
I think when you find a front office, when you move from franchise to franchise, is what it is that they value most. And there were some franchises, quite frankly, Kevin, that I played for where they just wanted you to show up on time, get there, play the game, and leave. Those franchises end up having a lot of struggle to find some footing in the league. They also find trouble finding attraction from free agency because people understand the culture just isn't there. There are other teams that do so many other things well, Kevin. You feel so much more valued as a player throughout your course of your career. Those are the places that end up sticking with you. And I think the league is doing a great job from top to bottom, moving in that direction. Now, some are doing it better than others. That will always be the case. But the idea around finding more completeness for what it is you provide a player is a great thing for everybody.
Fox dishes the land. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And they swept this team in the regular season a year ago. Pretty impressive considering these teams were basically the same in the standings.
Here's Bogdanovich. Green with the block.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Sacramento's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Joseph against George. This one for 3. A shot by Joseph, no good. So for Sacramento, their last game, a loss to the Nuggets in Denver. Offensive rebound. Here's George. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. And it's Joseph with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
Yeah, and the second chance points, guys, mean a lot over the course of the game. And they just had so few opportunities. And I think that was their Achilles heel.
Yeah, they were like good college players, one and done. You got to be able to make some noise on the offensive glass and keep possessions alive. They weren't able to do that.
Shot clock at 5. George. And again, no good by the Clippers.
The defense better tighten up on the mid-range there. Much, much tighter. You expect him to make every single one of those.
Now, here's Fox. He's covered by Shamet. Fox with it to end the cold streak. It's all tied in Sacramento. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Paul George had that nasty broken leg back in 2014. He describes what inspired him to come back even stronger.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back. That was enough for me. In my darkest days, I knew it was nothing to what my mom went through, and she came out perfectly fine, so.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and has not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And we're getting back to the action in our New Year's Eve broadcast. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, look at the turnover ratio, then look at the score. Easy to see what happened in that first period.
Yeah, hopefully the opposition can recover because that first quarter defensively was unbelievable, just crippling defense.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Landry Shamet. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Green in at the 5 spot. On the inbound. Shot by Joseph. No good.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
The strength and that body that Kawhi has, he finishes through contact as well as anyone in the league.
The Kings trailing. Joseph looking around. Outside, Bogdanovich. Inside. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
Here's Jackson after the Kings pick up 2. Outside, Green. Hits it from three-point range. And the Clippers lead by 3.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Kings have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter.
A great year for the Kings last year. We're in the playoff hunt right up until the very last month of the season and ultimately came up short. But those guys will be hungry to want some postseason play this year.
And it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Jackson. And now a 5-point Los Angeles lead. And the Kings shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company.
Yeah, pretty safe to say that this is the kind of game that you just want to flush as soon as you get done with it.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Quarter 2, and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And Brent, as you mentioned, the Kings came up short last year, but you have to think the playoffs are in their future.
Thinking about the playoffs would be nice. They did make a coaching change as Luke Walton is taking over for Dave Yeager, and changing coaches can sometimes disrupt development. Will they continue to play at the same pace that they played at last year? They were phenomenal in the open floor.
The Kings trail by 7. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Outside, Joseph. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shot to stop the run, and he hits the jump shot. Here's Jackson. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. To the paint, here's Green, and Green slams it in.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
Good job to recognize the opportunity. That's just very solid offense.
Sacramento with the ball after the Clippers pick up 2. And the dunk by Len.
And maybe that'll trigger them. Impossible not to get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well, you could see the immediate reaction of the guys on the bench. They are pumped up. Now, here's Shamet. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Feeds to Jackson. Dishes it to Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
Just a level of power and explosiveness. Leonard just tenacious at the rim.
Now, here's Joseph. Pass to Holmes. Kicks it to Bogdanovich. Len passes to Bogdanovich. And the layup falls.
Bogdanovich focused on scoring on the inside, and when he gets close to the basket, looked like he was hungry to get 2.
And here's Jackson. His last outing, he had 8 points. Shot clock at 6. Outside Leonard. From the wing. Offensive rebound. Joseph with the ball. Guarded now by Jackson. Here's Bogdanovich. Morris with the block.
And this is what staying active can give you. Morris sending that one back with authority.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And to have someone, Brent, with the size and strength of Green play with the energy he does, it's a huge boost to any team.
Yeah, lots of talk last year about JaMychal Green really stepping into his own, starting to really own what it is he can do to impact any given game. He's a bit of a journeyman. He's traveled around a little bit between San Antonio and Memphis, but his role with the Clippers last year really put him in a nice spot for him to show off his skill set.
The first free throw is good. Are there any players, Brent, you have been surprised with how good they've become?
Well, last year the evolution of Pascal Siakam and what he was able to do in Toronto was just out of nowhere. And what an incredible run he had, being a huge part of getting that team into the NBA Finals for the first time. Canada saw finals basketball, the birthplace of basketball.
The Toronto Huskies, you're right.
Pascal Siakam last year was such a huge eye-opener.
How about his game 1 in the finals? Unbelievable.
Tremendous, and great confidence, and the way that he can play, Kevin, very difficult to match up against. Shooting threes, transition, long on defense. It'll be interesting to see in the years to come how far Pascal Siakam comes in the league.
Now here's Barnes. 17 points for him last game against Denver.
He also had 2 blocks that really impacted that game, guys. He really made his presence known.
Here's Bagley. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
How about that? Taking on the challenge, the physical part of the game, something Bagley's trying to get better with.
Well, some ups and downs for Marvin Bagley in that rookie campaign with the Kings, but you could see the flashes of potential and the tremendous work ethic when he was out on that floor.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles, Ivica Zubac has checked in for JaMychal Green, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Jackson. And with Bagley, the mobility he showed for his size is really what impresses you.
And that blend of size and speed is why many feel like he could play across the entire front line. Wasn't in the Rookie of the Year race, but in a few years, he could be right there with the best of the best from that 2018 class.
Now here's Beverley, 4 on the shot clock. Shoots from the block, and the shot is long. And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his first foul. De'Aaron Fox is checked in for Sacramento. The Kings trail by 4. Pass to Hield. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Zubac. Zubac has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Leonard. The shot misses. Good D by Barnes. Here's Fox. Here's Parker. And the dunk by Parker.
Man, that's ferocious. Parker utilizing that vertical and that timing to perfection.
Here's Williams. He's got 6. Harrell kicks to Beverley. Back to Harrell. Passes it to Leonard. Rebound by the Kings. Fox has got 5 rebounds tonight. Parker finds Fox. Shoots from the elbow. Here's Bagley. He nails it, and we're tied up. Bagley's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Got a piece of it, and stolen by Barnes. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Los Angeles making a switch here. George is checked in. Fox passes to Bagley. And the rejection by Zubac. George against Fox, and the shot is good. George has got 10 points.
Well, you'd like to push Paul George out of the paint if possible. Goes into his bag of tricks to score that time.
And here's Hield. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Trailing by 2. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game, and that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home. Fox against Beverly. Fox, no good. For Los Angeles, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field since the start of the second. And it's George missing. Sacramento's gone 0 of 2 from deep here in the second. The pass to Barnes. On the wing, Hield. With the floater, and it's good on the layup. Hield's got it all tied up now for the Kings.
I mean, this is what the scouting report called for here. Love how effective Hield is right now on the offensive end.
Hield against Williams. Excellent D there from Parker.
A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time they're not backing off.
Now here's Beverly. Harrison Barnes missing his last shot. And George kicks to Beverly. Out to the right wing. 6 to shoot. Shoots from the baseline. And it's Harrell missing. These guys have had some good motion on offense. Nice assisting.
And when everyone's involved offensively, it has a way of helping you on the defensive side as well.
Last season, Harrison Barnes had a rough time shooting the ball early on. But that changed after the trade to Sacramento.
Well, Harrison Barnes is a very good player, and I think a lot of people look at what Harrison is getting paid as opposed to what his production is. But with this kind of veteran leader on this team and some young guys in Bogdanovich and Fox and Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes is the kind of guy that you can lean on to help these guys move along a little bit faster.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
And Sacramento seems like a great fit for Luke Walton. Team's approach on offense really matches his own. Should never be a shortage of scoring for the Kings.
You wonder how it is that Luke Walton did his studying coming into this season, with how much success last year Dave Yeager had in getting these guys to push the ball up the floor. Luke Walton believes that anyone can rebound and bring it up, and they have the kind of guys who could do that on this roster.
Zubac's no good. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Sacramento. Shot by Hield, nobody around. Off target from three-point range.
Well, after getting off to a great start, hitting those first 2 shots, he's definitely regressed a little bit in this quarter.
And he shows us all what the breakaway rim was invented for.
Can you believe he almost brought the whole thing down by hanging on that long? Here's Fox. The Clippers getting the bucket. It's hauled in by Paul George. Outside Williams. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Parker with it. Now guarded by Harrell. But they'll get another chance. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Sacramento shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
Bagley can give you just a little bit of everything on the inside. I know he had a slow start to his rookie year, but really picked it up as he came along and got up to speed with not only playing with Fox, but in the NBA system, and as to where he could be effective.
Now here is George. 12 points for him. He kicks it to Harrell. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead there. And with Bagley, it was clear just how active he was on both ends.
Yeah, he can do that. He's got that kind of length. He's got a soft touch around the rim. And if he can run out in transition and steal a few easy points, he could be a consistent 17 to 18 point scorer in this league.
Here's Parker.
And so quick off his feet, Montrezl Harrell with a nice rejection.
Beverly finds Williams. Zubac trying to break loose. That's good from Williams, the assist by Beverly. Beverly's got 4 assists in the game. Here's Fox. He has 6. There's 57 seconds left to play here in the second quarter.
Well, he's got a wide reach, so Parker's stretching out that time and grabbing it and throwing it down.
George against Barnes. Pass to Harrell. Now Beverly. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
Yeah, Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
Marcus Morris is checked in for the Clippers. Now here's Hield. He's got 12. Outside, Bagley. A three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Morris with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Yeah, I think you got to be cautious when you guard Paul George. He's not afraid of the contact, and that time welcomed it.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
Makes it pretty tough on the defense. Who you going to pick to send to the free throw line? And he's hitting the free throws right now. Form looks good.
From deep. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And that's it for the first half of action in what's been a very close game here. Los Angeles on top, leading by just 1. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
You know, just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you back here on our halftime show. Well, actually, we can't see you, but you can see us, but you get it. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 14 points and 3 rebounds. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass clean.
Shaq, what's your take on Sacramento?
What impressed me the most was the effort they put into the offensive glass. The second chance points really added up for them. Fighting through box outs, battling for position, they owned the offensive boards.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Paul George really making a difference here.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
Yeah, you want these kind of nights where you can start to see those openings before they happen.
The Clippers in the lead. Fox at the point with Hield to his side. They're the backcourt. Jabari Parker is out there with Marvin Bagley. And it's Barnes in at the 3. That's the 5 out there for the Kings. George nails the baby hook. George has got the first bucket of the third here for the Clippers. The Kings shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. Fox dishes to Parker. Now the feed to Bagley. And finished off by Bagley.
That's a good read by Jabari, a solid passer, and he knew he could reward a teammate that time.
Beverly against Fox, and Beverly kicks to Zubats. Down low. And that one's good. Beverly's got 5 points so far.
That's a pretty impressive finish for Montrezl Harrell.
Fox against Beverly. Parker outside. Fires the three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Zubats has got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, after years and years of rebuilding, the Kings are finally a team on the rise, and they're earning respect. Draymond Green said they've got a lot of young talent, never quit. Probably the fastest team in the history of the NBA. Green said after he plays them, I leave the game exhausted. I go home, I'm dead. And Kevin, we know that Green is pretty accustomed to going all out.
David, he sure is. He's got a lot of engine in him. Thank you so much. Now, here is George. Harrison Barnes missing his last shot. And perhaps the most shocking news of the NBA offseason, Greg, the trade of Paul George. Nobody saw that coming.
Took a ransom of draft picks to get him off the Thunder. Kawhi Leonard recruited him to join him on the Clippers, and Paul obliged by demanding a trade. Came together quickly and caused a major power shift in the West.
That free throw good from George.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
And both free throws good for Paul George. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Two minutes gone in this third quarter now. Barnes with it. Leonard picks him up. Charity stripe shot. Offensive rebound. Parker's shot is off.
Team starts the second half missing 4 of 5 shots. When does the coach possibly call a timeout and reiterate what he talked about at halftime?
And Harrell slams it in.
And the advantage they have starting to increase. Things are coming together for them at a really opportune time.
Coaches always talk about the first 5 minutes of the third quarter. They have definitely increased their energy level here.
And Sacramento has possession after the basket by Los Angeles. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles leads cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Hield. The Clippers have gone 4 for 4 from the field since the halftime break. Terrific start to the third quarter. Beverly, the pass to Leonard. To the middle. Here's Harrell. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 6 points for Montrezl Harrell.
You know, a lot of times we talk about good passing, but accurate passing is a huge quality of a good pass, and Leonard did it there.
And here's Hield. He'll bring it up for Sacramento. A pass to Fox. Outside, Bagley. Clock at 4. Hield, the pass to Fox. Rebound by Harrell.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
And George with the stuff.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
Well, with the confidence growing, that's one thing, but they seem to be getting more intense, and that's helping the quality of their play here.
Here's Fox after the Clippers pick up 2. Barnes outside. They get a hand on it. Leonard with the steal. And now running up the court. Leonard pushing it up. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
At this point, I don't know what you can do to slow this team down.
Well, nothing that they're doing seems to be making an impact. And there are some nights where you just run out of options, whether it's by personnel or by tactic.
Now, here's Fox. He's got 6. That's a 2 from Hield. And that one hits back iron.
Well, that mid-range Jay usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
And that one's good. Leonard.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
The Kings trail by 14. The wide open look here for Fox. And once again off the mark by Sacramento.
Hate to say it, but if they're still trailing at the final buzzer, a lot of this is going to be felt by him. His shooting tonight has just been atrocious.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
Here's Los Angeles now. They're on an 18-7 run. Bagley brings the double team. Pass to Zubats. Leonard looking around. And the pass to Harrell. Clock at 6. Over Parker. And it's Harrell missing. Sacramento's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Barnes can't get it to go.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
Especially if you're a player that doesn't get a lot of shot attempts. But otherwise, the mindset is, I just got to get the next one to go. And you don't want to put that much pressure on yourself.
Now, here's Fox. 8 points for him. Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Barnes. Clippers have gotten 8 of their 11 shots to drop since the break. A great third quarter for them offensively. Beverly against Fox. Pass to Leonard. Barnes grabs the miss. Barnes has got 4 rebounds in this game. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Alex Len's checked in for Bagley. Bielitsa comes in for Parker. Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Harrison Barnes. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Buddy Hield. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Green, he's checked in for Zubats. Morris comes in for Montrezl Harrell. Jackson, he's checked in for George. And it's Williams in for Patrick Beverly. And timeout called. Luke Walton has had enough.
Many thought the Raptors or Lakers would land Kawhi, but in the end, he came to the Clippers to write his own legacy. Returning to Southern Cal, where he grew up, was a big part of his decision. The big surprise was how Kawhi was out recruiting other stars behind the scenes to join him with the Clippers.
Now, here's Bielitsa. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Back to Fox. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
With his developing handle, Leonard now has defenders at his mercy when on the bounce.
The Kings trail by 12. Outside, Fox. Pass to Bogdanovich. Kings moving the ball around. It's Bielitsa. Green with the rebound. Green's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And it's Leonard missing.
For him, it's harder to miss that shot than it is to make that shot. I think he was anticipating a bit of a bump there.
Bogdanovich, no luck. Clippers leading by 12. Morris with the ball. Now guarded by Len. Fox against Williams. Tipped away. Fox with the steal. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Well, Fox really daring them right now to foul him on the inside.
Perhaps the biggest breakout star last year from the 2017 draft class, De'Aaron Fox. Greg, he was sensational.
Kevin, the difference between a year 1 and a year 2 player was never displayed better than the improvement that Fox showed. His shot, vision, and decision-making all started to catch up to that incredible athleticism.
2 shots.
First free throw is good.
Well, Fox had quite a year in Kentucky before he decided to turn pro and became the 5th pick in 2017 in the NBA draft.
Fox hits them both. I'll grade the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
And it's Fox with the ball for the Kings. A 12-point game. The floater doesn't go that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
For Los Angeles, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
Rashawn Holmes, he's checked in for the Kings. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Shamet's checked in. Free throw good for Morris.
And a breakthrough season for Marcus Morris in 2018 and 19. Career highs almost across the board.
Now here's Joseph. Outside Bogdanovich. Off target with his 3.
Well, his shots aren't dropping, and they haven't been able to keep pace, but they trust him enough to keep going to him, see if he can find it.
You know, Greg, the Celtics are encouraging their players to take mental health just as seriously as their physical health. Marcus Morris brave enough to say that helped him a lot.
I mean, the Morris twins growing up in the hard streets of Philly, I mean, a lot to overcome, but by getting some help, that's exactly what Marcus is doing.
And the first one drops.
What a culture shift it's been in Sacramento the last few years. Vlade Divac, along with Peja Stojakovic, 2 of the legendary Sacramento Kings players, finding their footing and trying to put their stamp on this organization with some of the young talent that they've acquired.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And Brent, around the league, people are saying the Kings are one of the scarier teams on the rise.
Well, they drafted decently. They play a system that now is speaking to some of their young talent. They've had a nice blend. It's been a long time coming in Sacramento, but fans coming out to the new arena to support this new, young, hungry Kings group.
Rocket 2. It's good.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Los Angeles leading by 15. Williams looking over the floor. Green against Len. Passes it to Shamet. That one drops for him. And the Clippers lead by 17.
An even stronger second half. Tremendous efficiency at the offensive end of the floor.
Sacramento's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Joseph down low. He's guarded by Williams. Bogdanovich, no luck.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
There's Williams with the three. It fails to fall. Now shooting just a little better than 50%, 5 for 9.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Green, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Alex Len picks one up.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
And last season for the Clippers, it was a collection of smaller guys who played big.
Yeah, but very effective with those kind of lineups with shorter, very effective offensive players out there. And Lou Williams being a catalyst for what they were doing, coming off the bench and providing a spark. You know, in the fourth quarter, there was always an opportunity for the Clippers, if the game was close, to rely on Lou Williams to get the job done.
That free throw, no good. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for the Clippers. He hits the second from the line.
You think about the Kings and how far off it is that they are from getting into their primes. If they keep learning the game the right way and find some cohesion together here, there's some building blocks for these Kings to do some damage in the near future and sustain it.
Now, here's Bjelica. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. 5 to shoot. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him.
I mean, I don't know. Does he look a couple steps slow today? He needs to shake that off and get into the zone and get on the scoreboard.
Harrell against Len. On the wing, Williams. 10 points for him. Now Joseph. There's the pass to Len. Pass to Bjelica. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Brent, most NBA players peak around, what, 27, 28, 30 years old? Kings have a lot of players entering right now that range.
Well, you think about they're actually a few years even from that range, Kevin, and so that youth will pay off as long as the player development is there. And if they can stay with a consistent coach for some time here, the likes of Fox and Bagley and Hield and Bogdanovich, it's a nice young core, and we'll see if they can get the job done, get themselves into the playoffs, and start getting the kind of experience that propels an organization forward.
A superstar summer, Greg, for the Los Angeles Clippers in Kawhi Leonard and in Paul George. Greg, they have 2 elite wings, great defenders in their prime.
Give them credit, but also Kawhi Leonard pushing the levers behind the scenes. He wanted another superstar to join him in recruiting Paul George, who still had 2 years left on his deal in OKC. Kawhi took unprecedented control of his free agent destiny.
And here are the Kings now. Jackson with it.
Right there.
Morris outside. The shot, no good. Ready by Bogdanovich. Over Jackson. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got 6. And it's Williams with the ball for the Clippers. They led by as many as 18 points. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. And that game will kick off a 4-game homestand. Bjelica with it. George picks him up. The 15-footer. Bogdanovich, no luck.
But his shooting this quarter has to be a huge concern, especially when they're behind like this. Can he find a rhythm?
Jackson finds Williams. And again, it's the Clippers missing. The Kings have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
Shooting 2.
He misses the free throw.
Well, the thing you think about with Bogdanovich, besides his first name being in his last name, is potential. A young, raw prospect with plenty of upside.
Buddy Hield, he's checked in for Corey Joseph. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Zubac is checked in for Marcus Morris. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And here's George for 3. Up again. Len grabs the board. Now, here's Bielitsa. Bogdanovich, no luck. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Clippers lead by 14. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. The Kings trail by 14, and on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, they've got Harrell, Reggie Jackson out there with Williams. Then it's Paul George, and it's Zubac in at the center, locking down the middle. Now, here's Bogdanovich. Over Jackson. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Kings. Clippers leading by 12. Williams passes to Zubac. Bielitsa against Harrell. Shot clock at 6. Puts it up from 12. The shot by Williams, no good.
Yeah, my expectations were that he was not going to miss that one, Kevin. He handles that kind of defense, especially on the inside.
Back to Barnes. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And George, here we go. Count it. George has got 22 points.
Yeah, Paul George can get very shifty, even with that kind of frame, and he fights his way through the contact.
And here's Bogdanovich. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Banked in off the glass.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
The Clippers shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Outside Jackson. He feeds it to George. Launches it. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Barnes has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
Here's Hield. 11 feet out, and he hits it.
Hield showing more ball handling there for you. He can be slippery.
Clippers leading by 10. Out to the wing. Here's Zubac. Back to Williams. Fires from deep. Drills it from outside.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. It's Bielitsa again with the block.
A defensive stalwart
so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
Yeah, we love when great offensive players get in a scoring rhythm, but Paul George right now in a great passing rhythm tonight.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento.
And as long as Reggie Jackson is healthy, he's going to give you some punch as a lead guard. Solid scoring option and a guy who's also unselfish in terms of getting his teammates involved.
And some changes here for the Kings. Bagley, he's checked in for Len. Parker comes in for Bielitsa. And De'Aaron Fox subbed in for Bogdanovich. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. Patrick Beverley comes in for Lou Williams. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, I listened in on what Luke Walton said to his team. He was disappointed in the shot selection. He told them, stay patient, run the offense, make the extra pass. We don't have to make up the deficit all at once. We'll see if they start shooting a little better. Kevin?
Now here's Leonard over Barnes. And it's Leonard missing. And for the last half decade, Reggie Jackson has been good for about 15 points a game.
And that is about the consistency you can expect from Jackson. He's always been a talent. The key for him is just staying on the floor.
Here's Beverley. Marvin Bagley picking up that last basket. Beverley, the pass to Leonard. Over Barnes, and Leonard gets it to go. And the Clippers lead by 15.
Hard to deny Leonard when he gets in that close to the rim. Too many ways for him to get creative to score.
Kings have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Here's Fox. It's hauled in by the Clippers. Zubac has got rebound number 13 with that last one. And George with this stuff.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
And here are the Kings now after the Clippers pick up 2. Pass to Hield. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Parker with the 3. The shot missing. And the Clippers will come the other way. Harrell finds Leonard. Beverley wide open. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got assist number 8 now on the night. If you were commissioner, Brent, of the NBA, would you add or alter any rules right now?
Wow. First of all, I think you get to fly on a really nice plane wherever you're going, and you get to go to any game you want to.
Yes.
So sign me up for that job.
With courtside seats, by the way, too.
Add or alter any NBA rules. I think the game is in a pretty good place right now, Kevin. And there's not much that I think is out there for us to change.
It seems like All-Star Weekend and the length of the season seems to be 2 pretty prominent things that continually come up.
Yeah, and as far as the question, I guess my head was going to things that are on the floor.
I was thinking that too, but I couldn't think of anything that really...
On the floor, it's tough to figure out something that could be adjusted, and I know Adam Silver and David Stern before him, all of their concern mostly is about the optics of the game.
Yes.
And right now, it's in a pretty good spot.
It's very pleasing to watch, there's no doubt. Now, here's Beverley after the miss from Buddy Hield. 7-foot shot, and Leonard gets it to go on the assist by Harrell. Leonard's got 4 points this quarter.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Hield kicks to Barnes. Feeds it to Bagley. Parker trying to free himself up. Bagley, no good. Los Angeles leading by 22. Passes it to Harrell. Inside. Zubac against Bagley. To the left side wing. Beverley, the pass to Zubac. Jabari Parker comes up with the rebound. And so it's Parker with it. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Poked loose. Barnes dishes to Hield. George with the ball. Now guarded by Hield. And Leonard has it in the corner. And there's the pass to Zubac. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's on Jabari Parker. Brent, when constructing a team, it's always tricky to fit in max contracts. But the truth is, some players probably deserve much more money than they're allowed to receive.
Incredible to say that, right,
It
Kevin?
is, yeah.
But there are guys like LeBron James whose $35 million contract might be worth 100.
I always thought about Jordan too, right? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And for the years that Michael Jordan was underpaid in Chicago for what it was he was doing. But in terms of competitive balance for the league and 30 franchises, and for you to try to build a team and a roster to put out on the floor to play this game and have opportunities to win championships, it's really the only way, and sometimes unfairly for guys in terms of their competition and compensation to have to put maximums on what it is that players can earn.
And so he hits both. Here's Hield. To the inside. Here's Parker, and the dunk by Parker.
Well, that's good teammate stuff right there. Looking for your guys. Buddy Hield has a strong feel for when to give it up.
And George kicks to Zubac. And the Clippers miss again.
Been a struggle for him tonight, but if they can make this lead hold up, he can just chalk this up as one of those nights.
And that one's good. Parker.
If your small forward stays active like Jabari Parker did that time down low, you'll get second chance opportunities.
Beverly up top, guarded by Fox. And that one, good. That's now 26 points for George.
Just looks like he's got more feel tonight, like he's really got a good grip on that ball as he's letting it go.
Kings have gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth, right around 46-47%. Down low, here's Barnes, and the rejection by Harrell. And he overshot that one, missing.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
Sacramento making a switch here. Bogdanovich is checked in. The Kings shooting 33% for the night. That's a big thorn in their side right now. That's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Hield. And now a moment to check out the leaders in the All-Star voting. Balloting underway.
And this is really a fun time of year. You're starting to see which players are going to be in the running to make the All-Star team.
And you look at Bagley. He's pulled in a lot of votes. Nearly enough, in fact, to break into the top 10 in the Western Conference.
Yeah, and probably wishing he was a little higher on that list, but there's just too many other guys also having fantastic seasons.
And it seems like the anticipation just continues to build each year around this time of the season. Gonna be a fantastic weekend. Now Fox. Top of the key, Bagley. You know, Brent, something other major sports do, receding during the playoffs. So the highest seeds always will play the lowest seeds. And do you think the NBA should go down that road?
I think the consideration will still be there. I think that conversation is going to happen over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see it changing in that time, Kevin, but it's healthy to continue the dialogue to the point where maybe we do get there.
Mm-hmm. Sacramento's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Outside, Fox. Parker surveying the floor. 6 on the shot clock. From 15 feet away, The Clippers grab the miss. Beverly with the ball. Good work defensively by Fox. Healed left side. The quick look, no good that time. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. Pass to Leonard. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Kicks to Fox. Pass to Parker. They could use a bucket. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Parker getting more comfortable in his early stages of his career with drawing contact on the inside.
Brent, with advanced analytics becoming commonplace in the NBA, which stats do you personally hold most valuable?
Well, it's amazing to talk about effective field goal percentage. I laugh a lot about...
Which is everything shooting. Free throws.
Well, you would use... I like to use true shooting percentage, Kevin, because that's where you adopt 3-point shooting percentage, 2-point shooting percentage, and your free throw percentage.
Everything.
But in talking to a lot of people around the league, general managers and coaches, I laugh inside to myself a little bit like, oh, so now shooting's important? Like what? Like now shooting's important around the league?
Right.
As if, you know, the time that you go out to start playing basketball, you grab a ball, you go towards the goal, and your goal is to make the shot. And so we're talking so much more about how much shooting is valued. Effective field goal percentage is tremendous, with true shooting percentage being not far behind.
Now, here's Shamet. Here's Magruder. Back to Shamet. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance. And this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Clippers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so all the hard work here tonight converted into a tally in the win column. It'll be number 26 on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And one of the league's top talents, game in and game out. And doing it here again in this one. A terrific night for George.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
And here is Los Angeles now. Sacramento able to drain the 3. And it's Shamet missing. Got a piece of it. Here's Farrell. There's the 3. And another 3 for Sacramento.
It's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Yeah, it's tough to mount a comeback like this and then fall oh so short. I'm sure that's weighing on them just a little bit.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. No good from Zubac. Morris against Parker. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you later.